Chapter 20, The Hunt, page 123. The drone of a plane's engine filled the air above the winding river. The river and the twin lakes to its east were solid and silent with ice. The plane was on a day trip out of Fairbanks, carrying 2 vacationing hunters from the lower 48. They were searching for wolves. The pilot, who was also the guide, had chosen this valley because it was a place where caribou came to calve. The calving would not begin for a few weeks, but the cows had begun to congregate. Their presence was sure to attract wolf packs. This trip was the last hunt of the season over snow. Within days, the white covering would vanish and spotting wolves from the air would be difficult. As the plane moved through the morning sky, the hunters swapped stories about the vicious ways of wolves. The hunter in the green anorak described a dog's death the previous year. "Old Butch was sleeping on the back porch," said the big man, brushing back the soft wolverine fur around his face. "He was a tough old dog, but never had a chance. Those wolves just chewed him up and swallowed him down." His blue eyes shone with excitement. All they ever found of him was a few scraps of hide. The other hunter nodded. "Wolves are mean critters," he said. "Best thing we can do is get rid of them. If we could wipe out the wolves, the country would be teeming with moose and caribou." The pilot said nothing. He knew the story of Old Butch. The wolves had killed him all right, but only after his owner chained him up outside for the night. Poor dog had no way to run and couldn't defend himself. Hunters from the lower 48 were full of stories that were half true or never happened. The second hunter, a small man with brown eyes and the beginnings of a beard, tapped the pilot on the shoulder. "Ever hear about the wolf that attacked the little girl over by Tacona?" he asked. "No," said the pilot. "Matter of fact, there's never been a case of wolves attacking humans in Alaska. They see people, they go the other way. They're smart animals." The bearded hunter frowned and braced himself as a swirling eddy of air jolted the plane. "That's not the way I heard it," he said. The pilot bit off each word. "That's the way it is." The hunter fell silent. He rubbed his chin, satisfied at the rasping sound of whiskers under his thumb. Suddenly, the hunter in the green anorak leaned forward. "There," he said, "just ahead of us. Look!" Below them, a white form was climbing a gray rock that jutted out of the snow. "What is it?" asked the bearded hunter. "A polar bear?" The pilot laughed. "No polar bears this far south. It's a wolf, a white one." "I thought wolves were gray," said the hunter. "Most of them are gray or black," said the pilot, "but sometimes we see a white one." He pushed the controls forward and the nose of the plane dipped. The ground rushed up toward them. "We can land on that meadow ahead," he said, "and you can start your hunt." "Land first? And let that critter get away? No, sir." The hunter in the green anorak picked up his loaded shotgun and threw off the safety. He turned the window latch and pushed open the glass. "Don't," said the pilot. "It's against the law to shoot wolves from a plane." "Forget the law," said the hunter. The white wolf was directly ahead of them. It raised its head, and they could see its yellow eyes. The hunter took careful aim. Just as he pulled the trigger, the pilot swerved the plane sharply. As his shots went wide, the hunter cursed. Below him, the wolf bounded off the rock and ran across the meadow, making for a clump of trees. Against the white snow, its coat looked yellow. Before the wolf reached the trees, the gun spoke again. Twice the wolf leaped into the air and fell heavily in the snow. "Let's go down and get him," said the bearded hunter. "No way," said the pilot. He was furious. "There's probably a ranger over the next rise. Want me to lose my license?" There was no ranger within 50 miles, but the pilot was determined not to let the hunters profit from their illegal shots. The wolf was probably a goner, but maybe not. At least he'd give it a chance. Something about wolf hunters bothered the pilot. They were different from the men who went after moose or caribou or salmon. And when they broke the law, they put him squarely on the side of the hunted. That wasn't hard to do. He always hated to see a prime animal brought down or a record fish reeled in. He recalled the times he had taken fishermen after salmon and deliberately tied their leaders with slip knots. When a big salmon leaped, the knot unraveled and the fish swam free. The plane roared up and away. The sound of its engine faded. On the snowy field below, the white wolf lay in the place where it fell. It did not move.